You're listening to the Ecosystem Support 360, a joint podcast to feature individuals, teams, governments, and ecosystems around the globe who are supporting innovation. Today is part 4 of the Yokohama series. I'm Andy from Forum Founders, tuning in from New York.
And I'm Kevin from Shibula Ventures, tuning in from New York.
Please like and subscribe to this podcast to keep up to date with what's going on. And welcome back to Masa and Nikolai from the City of Yokohama office in New York.
Hi, thank you for having me again.
Yeah, hi, it's great to be back. So excited to keep talking about Yokohama.
Awesome. Welcome back. Before we begin, for the listeners, here's a quick recap of our past episodes. In episode 1, we explored the 3 I's of Yokohama: the ideal location, innovation hub, and internationally active, highlighting why the city is a prime spot for business. In episode 2, we introduced a global startup matching program designed to connect international startups with Japanese companies and investors. In episode 3, we focused on the first I, the ideal location I, and spoke with Christian, a foreign entrepreneur based in Yokohama, about why he chose to build his business there. And today, in episode 4, we're turning to the second I, the innovation hub, and exploring how Yokohama is not only attracting global founders, but actively supporting them through programs like the Startup Visa program and community spaces like Tech Hub Yokohama. To help us unpack of all that, we're joined by Yu Shinagawa, CEO and founder of An-Nahal. Let's get started.
Yu, it's great to have you on the show. To kick things off, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you very much for having me today. My name is Yu, and I am the founder and the CEO of a company called An-Nahal, and we aim to create the more inclusive society in Japan. And what I do here in Yokohama is supporting foreign founders who wish to start their business in Yokohama. And also the second one is, as Kevin mentioned, we newly opened. Not we, I mean like Yokohama City or the Mitsubishi Estate. They started our newly launched venue for the global startup we call Tech Hub Yokohama. This just opened last November. And my role here is to create more innovative ecosystem or community. So we are hosting every bi-weekly second and fourth Wednesday to host a Yokohama Connect, which is originally from Boston, a venture cafe ecosystem. We are bringing that global community to Yokohama to make the place that innovator meets each other to make something new and valuable.
And what brought you to the world of innovators and innovation and foreign founders?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I really believe the value that the diversity or the being different and bringing the different perspective is the source of the innovation. And I'm from the teenager, I really passionate to seeing that happening in front of me. So this is starting from my teenager, but also now I actually have a pitch. Been to US before, 2019, to go to the venture cafe in Boston, and I also make a pitch there. And there are lots of inspiration or feedback or new encounters happening there. So I cannot forget the excitement that I found there, and I want to bring that kind of platform to Yokohama, which is my hometown as well. So I believe the power of the meeting people and the interacting with each other, and that is more values people coming to the platform. There's something new chemistry happens. So I really enjoy doing this.
Wonderful. And I really love the passion and the motivation that you have for bringing people together and trying to create innovation, which I think brings, a good point to what you're doing too, right? This whole Startup Visa initiative, the program is to be honest, I think it's very, very valuable and unique. Now, but I will say that for a lot of our US-based listeners, maybe this so-called concept of startup visa is fairly foreign, no pun intended. But maybe what you could do is maybe explain a little bit about what the startup visa is and how it works in Japan, especially as it relates to what you're doing in Yokohama.
Thank you. So those who are new to the idea of the startup visa is starting from I think 2018 or something. So now it's like 7 years or 8 years, and it's originally starting from the MITI, with Ministry of Economy and Trading Industry. So this is not the Yokohama Focus program. It's more like the whole nation program that Japan as a country to welcoming more international founders. And before that, before the startup visa starts, I think, or Kevin or Andy know, but as being a foreigner and starting the business in Japan is not easy. And usually you need to have the business management visa, which requires you to have the 5 million yen in capital. And also you need to have the physical office. So this, and also even you meet those criteria, but still you need to wait for a very, very long time, because usually the immigration office has a lot to do. So you will not know when you can start. And this is not like this kind of like a speed or the duration you need to wait. It's not about the startup founders pace. I mean, like, so you need to be very quick if you want to do something in Japan. You want to come to Japan more easier and faster. So that's why startup visa started. Startup visa is originally is up to 1 year, but now from this year you can extend it to maximum 2 years. But you are applying, and you can make your own business plan sheet and apply to each municipality. And one of them is Yokohama. So Yokohama is we starting this program 5 years ago, and we are focusing on the 4 different criteria. So we are looking for the startup and entrepreneur who's do business utilizing innovative technology such as AI and DX, and also healthcare and medical fields. And third is the knowledge intensive and value added businesses. So, or fourth is something that you can bring new values to Yokohama's market in general. So we are aiming to welcome more international founder who wants to start a business in Yokohama, and it's more easier just directly applying to than it's more easier than directly applying to the business management visa, but you can just make a simple business plan sheet and applying to the Yokohama city instead. And I'm here as a coordinator to support those smooth process that you can do without any challenges. So that's the quick intro about the startup visa. And once you get the startup visa, also like a startup visa coordinator and the city of Yokohama and the business consultant, we're going to have the monthly meeting, which is trying to finding out what's your progress and what's your challenges, like opening up the bank account, finding your office, or being ready to transfer your visa to the business management visa. So we are trying to be there always with the international founder to make everything go like smoothly. But of course, being an entrepreneur, nothing smooth, but at least as a platform or infrastructure, we will be there to support them we will do anything that we can do for them.
Thank you very much for that detailed explanation. It seems like this infrastructure, with you being in Yokohama and with all the other resources that City of Yokohama has, it seems like a lot of the foreign founders could benefit from working with the Yokohama ecosystem in general. Now, I do want to ask you a really quick question, though. I know you did a very good job in providing us with all the details of the program, But I do want to get to know you a little bit better, maybe a little bit at the personal level, maybe also the founders who are listening to this podcast as well. I'm not going to ask you like what's your hobby or what's your favorite food, but I do want to ask you, you know, what triggered you? What triggered you to really work on this initiative? You know, how did you get involved in building and running this program? Was there like a specific moment in time that really, you know, motivated you to get into this side of the, you know, side of the world?
Thank you. Just for your information, I love sushi and sake. But so
Wonderful.
what? Yeah, thank you. What motivates me to do this job is so I just mentioned that I'm from Yokohama. I was born in Osaka, but from elementary school, I'm here in Yokohama. And being a little bit childhood moment, I I met many international people here in Yokohama because I learned. I'm studying English. I love to study English, and there's a lots of international conference or events happening mostly in Minato Mirai. So I have a lots of chances to get to know like people coming from outside of Japan to come to Yokohama. And also, when I start my company, initially I focusing on how we can create more global inclusive workspace in the company. But I also found being employee in the Japanese, like traditional Japanese company, as a foreigner, is not easy to understand the Japanese business custom or how to behave, what kind of the business proper attitude might be very challenging. And I'm just naturally think like, what if maybe if that challenging to working for the Japanese company, but still they're very talented, they have a unique perspective. Like, what if there's an opportunity that they can do their own business? And I have a lot of friends who are doing the freelancing and also doing being a founder in Japan. But also they share that there is a kind of divide, or they cannot easily join the community like the Japanese business ecosystem. So like how we can do like something together, because like bringing the global perspective to the Japanese economy is like no one questioning the importance of that. But there's like a many, because of the language barrier or the network barrier, there's a limited interaction, especially in Yokohama. We have lots of foreigners living there, working there. And also we have many Japanese business that they want to do something more globally. But there's no interaction. Not, I mean, like very few limited. There's a few platforms to do that. So I just continuously researching there's any opportunity we can do. And then I think one of the city official, like those who are working for the Yokohama, he said, okay, we may be going to start a visa policy in Yokohama. And this is like, okay, this will be the pathway or one of the option for the foreigners who do something individually or independently. And then I just want to contribute to make this successful. Hope this like answers your question.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing, you know, more about yourself, the details, and really we can tell like how much being part of this program and really running it means to you. At least from my perspective, I would love to know more about the founders who are coming through the program. Can you tell more about? I think earlier you mentioned, you know, there are different industries from AI, but yeah, where are the founders coming from? Who are the founders? What kind of companies are they building? Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, thank you. And so far, I've been working as a startup visa coordinator for the last 3 years in Yokohama. And we have actually got a lots of inquiry, and where are they from is super barriers. It's actually, we got the inquiries from over 20 different countries, 20 different nationalities. And I think one of the biggest number is actually, of course, from the US. But the US is also huge. So like someone from the California, someone from the Boston, someone from Wisconsin, so everywhere from the States. And also the second one could be India and China, mainland China or Taiwan or Hong Kong. So yeah, these are the one of the biggest, but they're actually quite diverse. And also business model is quite diverse. That one is focusing on AI or more like technology. So I think like using technology or using AI is a huge trend. So no, most of them are somehow using this technology, but how they use that technology to the business model is diverse. Some are using the like how we can have more how we can utilize or having a better community for the mobility, or someone is for the HR, like human resources. Someone is for the travel, like inviting more inbound tourists. So it's super diverse. And then also someone is having focusing on the, how can I say, the hard tech, that they are actually building the new product is using like 3D modeling or 3D printing technology. So yeah, I think like very quite diverse, and that's why I always like meeting them and talking to them. I really need to learn. Okay, what's this? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have
Yes.
lots of different type of the business model.
A lot of opportunity to learn new things. That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite part about meeting other people too. And when you talk to these founders who, you know, whether they're from U.S., China, why do they choose Yokohama as a destination? What are some of the common themes that you hear across from all the founders that you've met?
Yes. Maybe one thing is we are still in the greater Tokyo area, so very easy access to the central Japan, like central Tokyo. But also we have a very affordable rent for the office. So I think this is like public calculation, but relatively compared to the current very central Tokyo, our office rent is like a 40% lower, but still we can access to the 30 minutes or something. So that's one could be very affordable office rent. And second is this is also a unique thing that Yokohama has actually a lot of international school. You may know. So there is a one most historical international school is in Yokohama. So many of the founders who has the family and they are thinking about move into Japan as a whole family, but they also wants to make sure their child has a good access for the quality education. And also they don't have a background of learning Japanese, so they are looking for they can do a good quality education in English. So Yokohama could be one of the best place to have to access that. And third is since Yokohama is especially in the central part in Yokohama, Minatomi, like a Nishi ward or Naka ward, you can see the beautiful Bay View. And there's a lower population than Tokyo. So you can actually chill and you can just walk outside and enjoy and feeling the green or like ocean. So this is kind of like easy access to the nature or more like a livable city. So so again, like one is an affordable rent, second is a family, maybe education platform, and third is more like a livable or accessible to the nature. I think these are the most common thing I've heard why they choose Yokohama.
Yeah. Thank you for raising that such a lot of good points of Yokohama. So I just like to comment on the second point. So I've often heard that there are a lot of embassies in Tokyo, and then a lot of course, ambassadors. I heard that one of the ambassadors actually chose Yokohama's international schools for their kids, and then commute to Yokohama. So that's the kind of things I mean happen in Yokohama. And is that the second question part, right? And as for the third part, so Yokohama is very beautiful indeed, and I really encourage the audiences who only listening our podcast to actually come to Yokohama. They will know.
Yeah, and maybe I can add one more. It's like there's a lot of R&D center, like Shiseido, Yamaha, and like LG, and there's a lots of manufacturer and also the R&D center. So the startup who is looking to find any opportunity to partnering with the large enterprise, we have lots of opportunity. We have lots of community and a platform, and it's easy to just walkable area, like in the 3 kilometer or something. You can meet with the large corporation, engineers, researchers. At the same time, you can meet the founders and also city officials. So it's so easy to get to know or get like meeting each other. At Tokyo, there's lots of community, which means you need to go like Shinjuku, Shibuya, anywhere else. So I think Yokohama, once you come to the right place, you can meet anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think Minato Mirai, the central area that you was just mentioning, for those looking for life outside of work as well, I think it's also considered one of the top 10 dating spots in Japan. So there's a theme park there, which is very interesting and fun as well, even for families. So I think that's and I think there's like a cup noodle museum where you actually get to make like the only one in the world cup noodle as well. Just a little bit of a PR for the cup noodle company, even though it's not like a sponsorship from them.
Many audiences will be interested in what kind of stages of the startups are most suitable to apply for the startup visa. Well, what kind of condition they should have before applying?
Thank you. That's very important question. So actually, there is no very specific criteria, but and I am not here to evaluate all the startup, but the city official will be selecting. But our kind of concept is not like judging, or something. More like we would like to welcome the more international founder. That's the mindset we have. And so based on that, to answer your questions, anyone can apply. But also, we need to see like there is a maximum 2 years, which means within a 2 year, you will be able to meet all the criteria to apply for the business management visa, which is you need to have at least 5 million yen in capital, or you will have 2 full-time member hiring, those who have the permanent or long-term visa, or Japanese citizens. So I think like hiring 2 full-time is more than 5 million in capital. So most of the founder are looking for having a 5 million in capital. So you need to be able to explain how feasible you can be in the next 2 years. So many of the founders who have their own company or the entrepreneurial background in their home country or like their current residence city, that is super convincing because they are already successful entrepreneur in their home or their current community. And then those who wants to like explore new opportunity in Japan, there's actually one of the many cases they are using the startup visa to see like there's any opportunity. They can also be an entrepreneur starting their startup based in Japan. So that's so serial entrepreneur who wants to do something in Japan could be one. But also we are open for the founders who wants to start from zero. But most of the case, with that, they have the background for the technology side or like the business development side. So if you are 3D printing, trying to create a 3D printing company, and then you have the background of the hardware engineer to make something, those electrical machine or something, or if you are a travel related startup, you have the background of hospitality and business management in that area. So yeah, we have no specific focusing on the stage, but you need to have some like a relevant background that convincing enough to you will be able to apply for the business management visa within the next 2 years. And also we are not accepting to support their direct investment to Yokohama using the startup visa. So if you are thinking to opening the new branch in Japan, you need to maybe go to the JETRO Yokohama to see how it possible using their support. So yeah, I think that's the quick. No, I think not quick, but that's the answer from me. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, if I could add something, thank you so much, Yusan. It's really interesting. As a foreigner myself who works for the city of Yokohama in New York now, but has had experience living in Japan, not directly working with Japanese corporations myself, but hearing stories from friends who do, what it's like to be a foreigner living in Japan. I resonated a lot with what you were talking about earlier about your motivations for doing this and for working with the program and trying to support it. I love working with Yokohama in New York, but in the past I've thought about, okay, what would it look like to move to Japan and start working for a Japanese company? And you sort of can run into a catch-22 situation where you need a visa to live over there, but there are many companies who would rather hire someone that already lives in Japan. And so you run into this thing of like, how do I actually get over there to work with companies? And so I think that, like you were saying, this sort of visa program is also a great opportunity for people who, have a technical background, right? It's not enough to just want to live in Japan, but they have a technical background. They could start considering, okay, well, what would it look like to turn that technical background into starting a business? Obviously, there's a lot that goes into that, but with the support of things like Startup Visa, you could actually make that happen, and that could be an entryway into Japan for someone that's interested and has the know-how for that. And I think that's so amazing. As a foreigner that's interested in Japan, I'd love that's an option now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. I think there has been a lot of exciting talks here, but just to kind of put ourselves back on track with respect to the startup visa, I know you explained a lot of details about it already, but if you don't mind, could you do a really quick recap or summary of the startup visa program for those founders who are, interested of thinking, well, I want to apply for this program. What does that process look like? How long does it usually take? And, what are the costs involved?
Okay, thank you. So this startup visa, Yokohama startup visa, is for the foreign founder who wants to start their business in Yokohama within 2 years. And if you are interested, easy way is like just Google Yokohama startup visa, and you will have the website. And then, but the first step is you need to fill out the form, and then about sharing about your current situation, what kind of business you want to do in Yokohama, and what is your visa status. And there's no, this is not for selection, but more like to get to know you better. And then when you apply or submit the form, from our coordinator team will respond and then we're going to set up the initial call to explain that what's the flow. And then once you understand the whole this startup visa program, and then you wants to like apply, then you will need to prepare the application documents. So the application documents, and then you will submit to the city of Yokohama. So once you submit, it will take around 2 months, to have the paper screening and also the interview with the city. So you will get the results 2-3 months from the city, and then with the confirmation letter, you will be applying to the immigration office for the startup visa. So in total, you need to think that minimum it takes like 3 months or so. But you don't have to pay anything to city, but you need to just have for the paper document fee to the immigration office once you get the confirmation letter. But before then, I think sorry, I forgot the how much is it, but it's like less than 10,000 yen or something, so $100 or something. So, but for to the Yokohama, there's nothing to pay. There's everything is free of charge.
Yeah, that makes
So
it really attractive.
Yeah. So just like if you're interested, please reach out to us to fill out the form, and then we are happy to answer any of the questions you may have.
Yeah. You talked earlier about the process, the startup visa, the offering, even the services that An-Nahal has as well to support the foreign founders. But a lot of the immigrants who move from one place to another typically do not have a network. So I want to maybe talk a little bit more about the Tech Hub Yokohama, which just opened up in November of 2024. So starting a business in Japan, not easy, we know that, but there's a lot of support system and programs. Are you able to tell a little bit more about whether it's like cultural, social support that the Tech Hub Yokohama has for foreign founders?
Thank you. So the Tech Hub Yokohama, as you mentioned, we just opened last November. So it's been like six months so far. And we already have lots of a partner, those who wants to work with the startup. So Tech Hub Yokohama is a community. So you can register as a member, one is a startup member, or a partner company or the organization. So in the partner organization, there's a large corporation who is looking for any partnership or collaboration with a startup, and also the JETRO or other municipality who wants to work with the startup. And then you can also register as a startup. And we are actually not limiting to the startup who has an office in Yokohama. You can actually, Andy and Kevin, you can actually be a member there. So there's a startup from the Finland register as a member there. So there will be the working lounge that you can have any interaction. We have the lunch meetup or more topic focus events, like maybe like the last month, Masa-san and Nikolai coming to focusing on the climate tech. So we have a more topic focus or community focus events. And also that I am being in charge of organizing the Yokohama Connect, which is starting for the venture, hosted by the Venture Cafe Tokyo, to bringing the various type of the innovator to meet and learn, connect and learn and share. So we do a bi-weekly events, and actually today, which is June 25th, we will have another session here. So we are trying to, and all the Venture Cafe Yokohama Connect events is for free. So anybody from the students, entrepreneur, and the investors, and the city officials, anybody can join anytime. And there is a beer or like some soft drink. So with the beverage, you can enjoy talking and also learning together. That's the community you will see when you come to Tech Hub Yokohama.
I actually luckily had a chance to join one of the venture cafe sessions 3 months ago already. Oh, that's amazing. So at the time it was raining, but still we have over 100 members get together to discuss a lot of topics. One of the topics actually was related to new administration here in the United States. But yeah, I thought that a lot of the topics would be covered and many types of people get together. So I really love that cultures and the atmosphere there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Yusan.
We are like to invite more like global perspective. So that's a Masa-san, and to bringing the what's happening in the States, and sometimes we are bringing from the Europe, from what's the trends in the Europe startup ecosystem. And also the next month we're gonna do also the focusing on the TICAT. TICAT is one of the African focused international conference happening in Yokohama. So we are trying to invite like a different types of the, not only focusing on the United States, but also we have a lots of different community or the network, and also not global, only global, but also inviting more local people. So sometimes we are inviting from the MBA school students to what's their career after the MBA, and what could be like they can work with the startup while they still have a full-time job at a large enterprise. So that's like many like local people will be there, and also sometimes students is coming. So yeah, we have a lots of diverse activity, and you will meet new people there. So that's the concept.
Yeah, we really covered a lot, from the visa to the, the social, the tech hub. It's incredible what a diverse set of programs that Yokohama has, and what you are building out there as well. Thank you so much, Yu, for all the insights that you shared with us and the audience today. I want to close out in perhaps saying if there's any announcement that the City of Yokohama team, if you'd like to do.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Yusan, for explaining, I working with the City of Yokohama in New York, I was, of course, aware of this startup visa program, but even I didn't know all the details, and I learned stuff hearing from you. So it's great to hear from someone so connected to it and supporting those foreign founders. So talking a little bit about what we, have new from Yokohama recently. I think in a previous episode of this podcast, we talked about the Yokohama Matching Program. We mentioned that as an initiative that we were doing to support connecting companies to business partners in Japan. And we've announced the companies that were selected for that program. So feel free to look at, if you just Doodle Yokohama Matching Program, you should be able to find those companies. Another thing I wanted to mention is if you listened to this podcast and you thought, well, okay, I'm interested in Yokohama. I've been listening to these Yokohama podcasts, or this was your first one. But maybe the startup visa isn't the right support. Maybe you already have a company and you'd be interested in sort of opening up an office in Japan. Maybe it's a slightly different situation. I did want to say that Yokohama just recently publicized new subsidies that are available for companies moving in and opening up a office in Yokohama. So if you Google Yokohama 2025 subsidies, you'll be able to see the kinds of sort of tax incentives and subsidies that are available for you looking at opening up an office in Yokohama. And then in terms of upcoming events that we can talk about from Yokohama, our New York office for Yokohama is going to be involved with an event called Deep Tech Forum. They hold these across the US and in Japan as well. But there's going to be one held in New York City, which is relevant for a lot of us on this call, on September 23rd in New Lab. So that was just recently announced. If you look up Deep Tech Forum New York City, make sure you've got the right date, because they've held it in New York in the past. For September 23rd, you should be able to get more info on that. And then, stay tuned, because we are always working to put on new events and try to connect with the ecosystems around the US. We're getting involved with Climate Week upcoming soon, and maybe other places around the US. So stay tuned for more info.
Yeah, thank you, Nikolai. And then over to you, Kevin.
Thanks for listening in. For those who want to get more info or have any questions, please contact any of us from the info on the screen. Last but not least, we would appreciate you answering a quick survey. Thank you so much.